Alright guys, such coming again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. The third Challengers Cup of the season concludes last night and it is a familiar winner, Bush Gaming. They took the win in week 1. They have now taken the victory with a slightly different team in week 3. Loads of drama, loads of controversy to get to this point last night. But also, what about the star of last week's show? Alluka Mania has happened over the last few days, but he falls out top 8 in this tournament yesterday. Lots of talk about that. Was it just a one-hit wonder? But Scrappy thinks that he's already been signed to a team despite this. Throw out some Twitter your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I greatly appreciate it. Plenty to get into today. We're going to start right away because a bit of drama. We know that yesterday Zoom had a go at the moderators and all this stuff. Obviously the day before yesterday. We talked about it in yesterday's video. The Stallions, the refereeing decisions, etc, etc. Ben came out and said that like he thinks that Tom went a little bit rogue on that one. We also had some people going rogue in Europe, and we'll get back to that later on today. But there was a little bit of talk about challenging coverage of the European matches. Because in the, it's always a thing in challenges. People don't like people joining their lobby to broadcast it. And it's like, well, come on, right? If you're not going to let somebody in to actually showcase the match, then, what are we trying to achieve here, right? Like, are you trying to become a pro? Because if you are, people are going to need to see the stats, the gameplay. So what's the point, right? I mean, are you just here to try and collect the paycheck for winning challenges? But surely that's not the goal. So CDC Intel says, I'm not going to be covering the EMEA region for the time being. The lack of respect for people trying to help support the scene and get them visibility is quite frankly astonishing. Multiple teams have once again refused Codcaster, and it's honestly a joke at this point. So I think that they did come to some sort of solution and compromise, and in the end we did get a little bit of coverage, at least in terms of the final few series. Certainly is frustrating, and Benjay says, well, look, maybe this should just be on the organisers, and I think that's probably a fair point. At the end of the day, while I don't agree with the players not wanting people to join their lobby and help give some coverage, the people that are trying to join the lobby and give coverage probably shouldn't be needing to, right? Like, this should be probably covered by the organisers themselves. You got CDC Intel, you've got Bants, you've got others being like, lads, can I join up and codcast this so we can stream it out for the public? Look, it benefits all parties. Saying no, I think, is outrageous, but equally it shouldn't probably be on them to do that service for the scene anyway. FaceIt, EFG, which is our ESL FaceIt group, basically they all run the show nowadays in Call of Duty. Arguably, they should be the ones to step in. CDC Intel says, look, there's usually no coverage for these elite qualifiers, only the main elites. But Benjay says, look, we should just make that standard because there have been some strides made this year in challenges, sure. But in terms of coverage, it's not necessarily moving in the right direction quite as of yet. So this is a big talking point actually a couple of weeks back when the Frenchies have denied bans to Codcast Winners Final. We saw a similar development over the last couple of days. But anyway, these were the results from Europe, and it was Harry's team with Denza, Mythics and F. They took the victory in Cup number 3. They take the, lion's share of the prize pool, shall we say. These were the other results of that championship. These were the stats, by the way, for the grand finals. This was Cobra's team. Linz is here. There was a bit of drama about that. As I say, we'll discuss later today. Cobra had a mega series here, but the most damage in the lobby went to Mythics on the other side, who is, kind of been, I'm a little bit surprised that Mythics hasn't been more in those getting into the Pro League conversations. Afro made it back in this year with Cloud9, so look, maybe there's an opportunity there. Denza is back. I mean, I don't know how many times he's retired and come back to playing, but I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, congrats to the Project 7 boys. The Frenchies, they go down in the grand finals, but still competitive. But in North America, I mean, wow, yeah, there was a lot going on. The Telluride Bush Gaming lads, this was their reaction to making it to the Sunday, so they got through yesterday, as we know. It's been an interesting week for them because last weekend's, if you guys watched the Dope Joke show or even followed any of the talking points, you'll know that after winning the first cup a couple of weeks ago, the Bush Gaming boys, they took the foot off the gas. They were playing Arc Raiders all week. They weren't playing any COD, and Don wasn't very happy about it and was like, look, lads, you're not just going to coast to these cup victories. You're going to have to put the work in. Yes, their team is on paper one of the strongest, if not the strongest in challenges right now. You'd certainly say the strongest after they've won 2 out of the 3 cups. But if you're not going to try, you're not going to win. And again, it's the same conversation with some of the other challenges players. It's like, okay, what is the goal here at the end of the day? Are we trying to make it into the Pro League, or are we trying to coast and put off getting him a job at McDonald's for as long as we possibly can? Because that's what it seems at the moment. So look, they put the work in over the last week. They actually started to play again, and they made it to the Sunday. And then, well, they made history from there again. And it's good to see because, I mean, wow, challenges, these streams, these watch parties for the Bush Boys have been incredibly entertaining. But one of the key talking points before we get there is about Alluka, right? So Alluka was the big story of last weekend's, dominated the cup, was dropping 1.8. His team home at Brooklyn, they won the tournament in the end. He was unanimously considered the MVP. Next Mercules, next Simp, you know, all this stuff going to the Pro League. Now, look, I'm not going to say that the opinions on that should necessarily have changed. Lots of the pros saw his gameplay, thought he was very good, and he's still very good. I mean, he played well over the last couple of days. It's not like Alluka fell off massively. His team ended up coming top 8. They lost to the Huntsmen. So, you know, good series. Huntsmen have definitely improved. I think that Renegade as well, you know, his improvement has been especially notable in the last few weeks. If he continues improving at this pace, then Renegade will be, you know, he will be a player to watch, let's say, stage 2, stage 3 in terms of Pro League conversations, I think. It's very exciting. Like, everyone knows how good Renegade is from the Halo side. He has played a bit of Call of Duty before as well. So, look, he's made the transition over. Huntsmen are making progress. He's making individual progress as well. Bringing on Major Maniac, I think, has been a substantial help. Alluka is still the same player, but of course this week he wasn't absolutely crushing everyone, and no one, you know, was watching his stream as much as they were some of the other teams that ended up actually going on to win the tournament. So again, questions start to be raised. Is he a one-hit wonder, right? Is Alluka only here for one weekend and gone the next and all this? But, like, I don't really think so. Again, the bias runs both ways. Like, when he had a really great weekend, people were gassing him up, in my opinion, beyond reasonable expectations, purely based on the fact that Mercules exists. Look, Alluka may come to the Pro League and do great things. I hope he does. I think he's got the talent to do so. That's not disappeared overnight. But, you know, people, I think, were taking it too far last weekend. And then this weekend's, it's the opposite story where, oh, he's lost his top 8. Oh, you know, Alluka's washed. He was never that good. Maybe he was cheating. You know, people start to say all these things. It's like, well, come on, right? Probably the truth is somewhere in the middle. That it's not like he's gone from being amazing to terrible all of a sudden. And look, if he was good enough to show that promise a weekend or so ago, it's understandable that he will be getting into some of these conversations. And Scrap says, we'll actually see here in a second, that, well, he thinks a decision has been made and that Alluka might be on his way to the league, possibly on FaZe's bench. That's been the big rumour. Of course, JoeDeceives coaching this team with Spart, Proloot, Fire and Capsule. They ended up winning the tournament in the end. Cap had a great map here. And he made an interesting point on the stream. I'll share this clip here because I think, like, Don is, like, partially joking, but I do think he believes this to a certain extent because he has said it on the show before. It's not really something that I ever think about, to be honest, but like, in the Pro League. But Don says if Cap was white and jacked, he would be on FaZe right now. So I'm not sure I fully buy this, but I thought it was kind of funny. So I'll share this clip and a couple of others here for you guys in a second, because Omit, Brooklyn, they get knocked out by Next Threat in the end. Huntsman beat them too, so that was Alluka's chances gone for the weekend. Scrap implies that, well, it looks like even though this week wasn't great, it's not mattered because last weekend was so good that he's effectively been picked up regardless. And then a couple of clips as the Bush Boys get over the line.
Pick it up. Nice fucking shit, Kips. He shits on. Oh my god! What the fuck? What the fuck?
How could you not tell I'm from the UK?
What the fuck? What the fuck? Fucking takeover series. Holy shit. Let's go, man. Holy shit.
Like, Doug
Wait,
is...
how you look?
But Capsule's been in the league.
If Capsado was white and jacked, he'd be on FaZe.
Bro, what are you saying?
Wait, hold on.
Bro, what is this guy saying?
100%, bro.
Hold on. You want
Crazy,
Johnny?
He's him. Cap is literally him.
To a degree,
Literally him.
To a degree, I agree with you, bro. How you look and how you talk matters so much that it can overshadow.
What the fuck are you guys talking
It's
about?
a fact. It's a fact. That's life.
You're
That's literally
the
life. That's in
only one that
anything.
can say that, Slay, because you always team with the colors, bro. Like Fears, Lacefield, Legal. Like Pat low-key looks out for my people. And Proofy, look, see? Nigga, Pat doesn't try to team with all the brethren, bro. But you're the only one, bro.
It's literally not about what you look
Donnie,
like.
I team with you.
It's bro.
it's social circles, bro. If Cap was in a different social circle, he would probably be
And we won a chip, Don. We won a chip.
That is definitely it.
Cap's worthy, but like, bro, here's my thing. Capsule gets picked up by fucking, I don't know,
Boston.
Boston tomorrow. Like, it's just not a needle mover. Like, they're the same team.
And if Alluka gets picked up by Carolina Royal Ravens,
They're not a
moving
needle
the
mover.
needle
I
either.
agree. I agree with you.
So
But if Alluka got picked up by the Thieves,
But if Capsule got picked up by the Thieves too. If Capsule got picked up by the Thieves.
Pat. No one's coming to the Thieves. Alluka's, I don't know. I think he maybe made a decision.
No. Insinuating that you gave him an offer?
Wait, what does that mean? Yeah, does that mean that you gave him an offer?
No, apparently he was off the streets before he was even on them.
Why'd you inquire? What the hell?
How is that so?
How is that? I think it's you, Tom.
Kason was moving mad.
Tom texted Kason immediately.
I wasn't even looking. No one's
Tom
coming to my
texted
team. No one was
Kason
ever coming to my team.
instantly.
Look at
Oh my God,
QK,
he's
look at QK, man.
wait, Ernie, you think you have the same team the whole year?
Yeah, probably.
Damn, back-to-back MVP dream is dead.
The hell?
Just wishing failures on him. That's
I bet,
crazy.
Ernie.
It's the opposite. I'm literally, I'm wishing for the best.
Fire! Almost picked one up. 3v2. 3v2. 3v1. There we go, boys! The Bush taken from M5. Oh my God! Let's fucking go. Green wall what? Green wall what? We're smoking that Huntsman pack, boys. Let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go. Smoke.
Play it again.
Yeah!
Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go! Come on! Let's go! Come on! Holy shit!
Holy shit!
Come the fuck on!
Let's fucking go!
Come on!
The final scoreboard went like this. So Bush Gaming took a 4-3 victory against Next Threat in the grand finals. I mean, unbelievable. Game 7, round 11. It was nearly a 1v1. It doesn't get much better than that. Now, Next Threat, interestingly, because when I hear Next Threat, I always think Doug, right? Because Next Threat's always had Doug as a player, but they kicked him, right? They got rid of him the other day, and it's now Dimaconic, C, Johnny, and Standy. And to be fair, that team is also really good. So, yeah, Bush Gaming, they went all the way to the finals. It's interesting you look at the numbers, because in terms of KD, you would not have expected them to have lost this series, Next Threat, but they did. A lot of that is on the back of good search and destroy. I mean, look at this. 6-4 search, 6-4 search, 6-5 search. Like, that was the difference maker. Over the best of 7, they won all 3 searches. They won the Den Hardpoint, that was enough. Their overload, Bush, is not very good. That's where they've got to work. They lost the exposure pretty handily as well to start out the series. But yeah, Search and Destroy wins championships, and Telluride Bush Gaming, they get the victory. So, look, it's just been great to see the passion here. It's a rare one that we're sitting here on a Monday after a Challengers Cup talking, like doing a whole video on the Challengers Cup is effectively what it's been like for the last few weeks. That's not been the case for the last few years, right? Like, that's just not how it is. The Challengers Cups over the last few years will have been a 2 or 3 minute segment at the start of this video rather than the whole video. So I think that shows where Challengers is, that this is what people have been watching, this is what people want to talk about, and it's a great spot. Huntsman making progress, Zuma's team, obviously the Stallions, they didn't do that well on the Sunday. We'll see the final bracket here in a second, but yeah, Bush Gaming, it's cool to see them back on top, right? And given everything they've got behind them as a team, and all the boys in the behind the scenes and putting on these streams to support their roster, it's great that they're also delivering some level of success there as well. So look, yes, they will celebrate this like it's the Super Bowl, but Fire 40, of course, on the team now as well, which is nice to see. Fire even gave some thoughts and said, wanted to win that so badly because of the constant disrespect from ex-pros in challenges, acting like they're any better than me. No one could go through what I have gone through the last couple of years and still compete like I have. Thanks for the love, though. Have a good night, Bush. So, obviously, TJ is in the league now. He's joined Surge, we think. That's why by FaZe in the team instead, and they get the victory regardless. So this was the final bracket. Bush Gaming 4-3. Project Notorious went down to Next Threat in the elimination finals. Falcons Academy made a good run here. That's a Seams team with QK4B, or however you pronounce it. He was a notable feature last year of Falcons Academy, that he's looked really good on this game. I mean, yesterday he was absolutely frying. So he's another name to look for in challenges. The Stallions actually got 3-0'd by him eventually. I'll just quickly bring up the stats for that series actually, because you guys might be interested in looking at these players in greater detail. So anyway, if it wants to load, there we go. Stallions went down 3-0 in the losers bracket. QK4B dropped a 1.3 KD. He was doing that all day. So very much interested to your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.